Polyamory, or being poly, is the practice of having more than one intimate sexual partner with the consent of all included, and is a social phenomenon which is on the increase in the UK. I've been invited to follow the lives of Sue, Clive and Jeff, who have been in a poly relationship for 2 years. Today, I meet up with them.
I met Jeffrey at a bus stop 2 years ago, and it was kind of strange because he was a kind of interesting character. We just started talking because we were getting the same bus, and he started telling me about his balaclava which he had, which was strange because it was summertime, and he's got a bit of a thing for balaclavas, and he said he liked them because he could see out but no one could see in, and I thought that was sweet, really.
I've got loads actually, loads of different colours. I've got black one, green one, grey one. This is my blue one.
Is it right?
Do you make them?
No, I just buy them.
Yeah, and so strangely, 20 minutes later,
I've got an orange,
I was on my way
orange
to
one
the.
as well.
I was catching a bus because I had to go to the doctor's for but that's by the by. Yeah, and again, it was strange because we just started talking. I think you started talking to me, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, and there was something about you completely different to Jeffrey. I didn't think we'd end up together, basically. What happened when we met?
Well, I cut myself shaving, and so
I've got camouflage ones on, so I just remembered.
So I needed to go to the doctor's for an emergency appointment, but it stopped bleeding. But then they don't like you to not turn up, so they get really cross. So I went to the doctor's surgery, and I'm so glad that I did, because I was sat there and in walked Sue, and I couldn't believe my eyes. She just looked so beautiful, and I remember everything about what she was wearing, and how she was looking, and how she was walking because of the infection.
So all of you guys get on well with each other, being in a triple relationship?
The three of us together, there's just some sort of dynamic that is... How would you describe it? How do we put it into words? We're basically a family,
Morning, Claire.
Morning, Sue. Morning, Jeff.
Some people might say that that's kind of an unusual... It's a modern way of living. I don't know what's normal anymore, really. But to me, this feels normal to me. This feels...
Sue says we were born too late, too early.
Yeah, but it's like Sue always says, if they don't understand, they can just fuck off.
And so, what did you tell your parents? How did they react to that?
My parents are dead.
It's like Sue says, it's better to have 50% of 100% women than 100% of a 50% woman.
We have a thing called special time.
Yeah, special needs time, I call it. Just for a bit of a joke.
Can you tell us where we are right now?
We're at the fair.
And what are we doing here?
You've eaten a lot of those. Pardon?
So what are we doing here?
Well, we're going to go on rides and, just like normal people do. Have some fun. Maybe win a coconut.
everybody like going on these rides? Clive, you look a bit apprehensive.
Who doesn't like the fair?
We take it in terms to bring something to the time to... Well, what did you do last week?
I really like darts, so I said we should have a game of darts. I used to play with the real ones, with the big spike on the end, but Sue thought it was a bit dangerous, so...
Basically, there's a reason for not having the proper darts, isn't there?
Yeah, Sue's health and safety officer at work, so she's kind of very good at that
Well,
kind of thing.
there's a story, though, behind it, isn't there?
Yeah.
Basically, Jeffrey had some darts, no dartboard, bare door, using the door as a dartboard. People walk through doors, accidents happen, so...
I said sorry, though.
I know these guys are just, they're having a ball without me. I mean, I could get jealous about that, but...
Jeff likes Top Gear. And yesterday.
Nazi Hunters. That's my favourite.
And so do you watch a lot of television together then?
Yeah, well, Jeff likes watching TV, and also Jeff's really good at playing jokes.
Jeffrey is a terrific prankster.
Just practical jokes mostly, and that's what a lot of people notice about me when they first meet me, is just my sense of humour, really, isn't it? Just very dry.
Really
very
dry. Understated.
Jeff plays jokes, and I usually tidy up afterwards.
You take jokes beautifully, though, because if you couldn't take a joke, this wouldn't work, would it?
Does it not hurt when things get dropped on your head and you get locked inside a room? And
I get a bit worried when I can't get out of the room or the cellar, because there's a lot of jobs that I have to do in the house that I want to do, and then if Sue's coming home, I get a bit worried because I can't do the jobs.
in the kitchen, when you guys were cooking and stuff, you said something about 50% of 100% woman, or
That's what Sue always says.
don't you want 100% of 100% woman?
Do you need me?
I think I've got enough, actually. Do you like playing jokes on everybody? Or especially Clive?
I just like it.
Do you miss playing with the real darts rather than the foam stuff?
It's kind of it's the same thing, really. Just throwing darts at a dartboard is kind of the same thing.
Sue addresses you as Jeffrey. Do you like being called Jeffrey?
Jeff.
Back's on.
In terms of family, do you guys want a family? Do you want children? Have you guys talked about that?
Well, Sue's very, very busy. Sometimes she doesn't get home until 1 in the morning or 2. Sometimes she has to work all weekend, and that's for us, for our family. And so, that's just one of those things.
It's a sacrifice, isn't it? It's a sacrifice that we're prepared to put up with.
Jeff, do you want a family?
No.
I mean, obviously, I'm not going to rule out having kids, but at the moment, my focus is on this and maintaining this household and what special thing that we've got going on together. So, if it happens, we'll deal with it at the time. I mean, there are considerations.
So, what do people think about your relationship then?
Well, I mean, basically, no one can understand what's happening within a relationship if you're not in it, you know. So I mean, we share everything. You know, we're happy.
He was a big horticulturalist, really into plants and gardens and of all things green, really. So when they found him, he was in Peru, Lima, and he was running a restaurant, and he had a big long white beard. I think Lima's. So he was like he was a major in Mossad. So in Brazil, he went to Brazil in 1970. What's she looking at?
Clive, go and get him.
For legal reasons, it would take another 3 months before I was able to film Sue, Clive and Jeff again. Hi guys! Where have you been?
Hi. We had to have a bit of a break, but we're in a bit of a rush now. Yeah. Jeffrey's thing, but we're just off to the Citizens Advice Bureau now because we've decided to get married.
Sue says that if gays and lesers can, then why can't we?
Yeah, because if Sue gets an inheritance, then we can all have some of it. And if Sue gets a house, then we can all share that.
Yeah, I mean, it works for all of us. We're all very happy.
It's your house and it's my inheritance.
We're very determined. I mean, I don't see why we can't be Britain's first married triple. But we've got to go now anyway, so...
We're really happy.
See you later, bye!
Bye!
So Sue, how did the meeting go?
We're not giving up.
And so who is your new friend?
Oh, this is Keith, the lovely young man from the Citizens Advice Bureau, and he's going to help us take it further.
Yeah, we're going to go to the European Court.
It's like Sue says, it's better to have 33.3% recurring of 100% woman than 100% of a 33.3% recurring woman.